What is free will and do I have it? Two really good questions, and the answer is a bit convoluted, so be patient with me. We'll work through this, and I'll try to get through it quickly. The questions came by way of a conversation in reference to your life contract. What a life contract is, for those of you who may not have experienced it, is that a life contract is something that as you reincarnate, when you come back to this world, each time you come back, you've given yourself a preordained list of things that you want to accomplish, maybe 2 or 3 tests or lessons in this lifetime to help you become the highest and best and more perfected spirit that you can be. Because again, we're working to be perfection in the eyes of our Creator, our deity, our God. As we come back, we're learning, and we're learning through each lesson. Through each lifetime. We're learning lessons through each lifetime. So the question was, if we indeed have these life lessons and we know exactly what we're trying to learn, therefore, are we prescripted on how that will go? And the answer is no, we are not prescripted. We have free will. We have the freedom to make choices. We have the freedom to figure out our way to get to the ultimate goal. The ultimate goals are there, the ultimate lessons are there, but there is no ultimate or prescribed way in which we get there. So as we navigate our way through life, as we start to learn our lessons, our free will kicks in, and it determines, are we going to go right? Are we going to go left? Are we going to make this choice versus that choice? Are we going to choose this career versus that career, this spouse versus that spouse? Are we going to have kids, not have kids? These are all free will. They tend to work together based on the guardrails and bumpers that we kind of put and prescript in our lifetime contract to get us to where we need to be. But again, it's the free will and choices that help us move along that way. Sometimes that free will and those choices work out well, because they do tend to get us where we need to be, and they're in the direction where we are heading. But ultimately, there are times where we do not make the right choices, and where we kind of get distracted, or we kind of lose our way, and we fall off of the path and beyond the guardrails. And then spirit steps in, your spirits and your spirit guides step in, and they kind of nudge you and say, okay, you kind of got way off here. And they kind of put you back on track. They're not putting you back in, telling you that you need to change the way in which you're doing something because it's wrong. They're just saying, hey, if you're expecting to get to this final result, this way is not going to get you there. And so we deviate from time to time, and then we get nudged back in. Sometimes we nudge, sometimes we're given light little taps, sometimes Spirit steps in and gives us a real big whacking upside the head, like a 2x4, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't expect that to happen. Because again, they guide us. They kind of give us a guide, because they're the ones who know the contract, and subconsciously we know it, consciously we do not. And so they kind of help get us back and say, okay, that's not going to get you where you need to be. Again, there are other ways to get to where you want to be. And so if you get off of where you kind of were headed, again, it's your path is one thing. The path is a direction. How you get there is the free will. And so as you get off your path, they bring you back to the path, and then you can navigate how you want. So the free will is you making choices, making determinations on how you're going to get to where you're going, which serves you best, and those kind of things. But ultimately, the free will helps you to stay on your path along with your spirit guides, getting to where you need to be to accomplish the 2, 3, 4 life lessons, whichever it is you came in with to do. And then there are those things along the way which are we call them exits. You create in the contract times of exit. And so as you're working through this problem, you create, okay, if I get off the path to the point where I can't seem to get back, then I can take this exit, and then this exit, and this exit. So the exits are built in, and those are exits where people sometimes die young, or they or they decide to end their lives, or whatever they choose to do. Those again tend to work with those exits where they realize they've gotten off the path and they can't seem to get their way back on to find a constructive way to get the lesson they learned or they wanted to learn. And so they take those. And then there are some people again who leave this earth early, but they leave at a young age and not early. And remember, that's a very big difference, because there are some people who come onto this in this plane who are going to live 1 or 2 lessons and going to live a short life. They come in for a specifically short period of time, and then they're gone. That means they didn't take an exit. They actually were not going to be here much beyond that, and that was not going to be the case anyway. So all of this goes back into the free will conversation of when you are experiencing free will, when you're putting free will to work, the free will is you moving down the path as you see fit, when you see fit, and even navigating off the path. And then what the spirits and spirit guides and your gatekeeper do is they kind of help nudge you back into the path, not making your choices for you, not telling you the right and wrong choices, but saying, hey, if you're looking to get to this point, if these are the lessons you want, you're probably not going to find them that way. But if they could find a way for you to navigate off of this path and redo that path, then that would work too. And then therefore, again, free will at work. But free will does exist because there is no preordained set situation that life is laid out for you. There are preordained lessons, and there is a preordained destination for those lessons. Everything else is free will, and it's left to you to decide. I hope I didn't complicate things. I hope I didn't make it too basic either. I hope I gave you enough so where you understand. And with that said, I'm going to let you go. Love, light, and blessings from me, Don Rumor Rivera, Sonoran Mystic Tarot, to you and your family. Have a great one. Bye.